emergency airlift on the Silver Nova of the Silversea cruise line.
An unfortunate accident by one of the crew members today down on deck 1. We were informed by the captain that there was an emergency and that the deckhand or the engineer, not quite sure what it was severely injured. About an hour and a half later, they then called for other crew members who had type O blood to report to the medical center. And I guess some blood was donated. We had to divert our course from going to Macapa to go to Balam, so the ship was diverted, which was the closest port where there would be adequate hospital help. They also had requested a helicopter from the Brazilian Coast Guard, and after a few hours that was confirmed. So very shortly that helicopter will be arriving at the ship, and they will medevac that injured individual who is critical but stable off the ship. Now here's another announcement.
We receive an update from the medical evacuation, Brazilian Coast Guard, which the operation will take place at 1 hour from now at 5 o'clock. The helicopter will be available at 5 o'clock, so in 1 hour it will meet us for the medical evacuation. Still not yet decided where is the area to be used, but please keep clear deck 11 forward, starboard side. Thank you for your cooperation.
So this is where the operation will take place, and they already have it cleared of all the chairs and getting ready for the helicopter.
The crew showed up to remove all the deck chairs from the deck, and they decided to airlift the patient from the pool deck. So everybody was cleared out. It started raining a bit, but the crew was very efficient in clearing the deck. The fire brigade came on board. They hooked up their hoses just in case there was some kind of an accident, and they were prepared. The helicopter arrived on scene. Did one turn around the ship just to get it oriented and see everything that was going on, and then the operation began.
Inside. Sorry, we're not to be filming or have you guys in this dangerous area during the operation. Please make your way inside. Thank you very much. Guys, oh, come here.
The patient was brought up from the medical center on deck 2 up to deck 10, the pool deck, to get ready for the airlift. He suffered a massive trauma from an accident in the elevator shaft. He was crushed, and he's in serious condition, critical, but at the time he was stable. So the helicopter arrived on scene, and they lowered 2 Coast Guard personnel onto the deck. You can see at the bottom of the screen there was a little bit of scramble by the deck crew. They hadn't removed some furniture, and the downdraft on the helicopter was going to blow it all over the place. And the ship's medical doctor is consulting with the Coast Guard people who were going to take the patient off the ship, and he was giving them, I think, some instructions. After the Coast Guard personnel got the lay of the land, figured out what they were going to do, they then sent a line up to be able to bring down the stretcher from the helicopter. This is going to be a delicate operation. It's always dangerous, but now you can see the stretcher coming down from the helicopter, and it'll be on the deck, and they will transfer the patient onto it. A third personnel from the helicopter came down with the sled, and the wind was quite brisk, but they seemed to get it down pretty easily. A little bit of a slip there, but he was down, and now they are ready for the transport. The patient was then wheeled out from under the shelter. There were still medical personnel administering oxygen. It became quite critical, but they prepared the stretcher from the helicopter, and they got all the straps ready, and then at the point when it was ready, they transferred the patient onto the stretcher. Once the patient was in the helicopter stretcher, then they had to secure them with all the straps. Did it very efficiently. There were a lot of straps, of course. They didn't have any problems. This is the doctor, and in his hand is a iPhone, and he was able to monitor the patient's heartbeat. The patient was now securely bound with the safety straps, and the signal was given for the helicopter to start the lift. The signal was tapping of the hat by the helicopter personnel on the ship, and one of the personnel was also buckled in, and he was going to accompany the patient on the ride up. The stretcher arrived at the top at the helicopter. They spun it around to orient it correctly in the last few feet, and then it was jostled around a little bit by the wind, but then they safely got the patient inside the helicopter, and everybody's heart almost stopped at this point. Now that the patient is successfully in the helicopter, it was now time for the crew still in the ship to be able to do the next step, and that was to transport the patient's luggage onto the helicopter. And finally, the last crew member got hooked up, and off he went.
Well, that was exciting. My heart is pumping. They got the patient off the ship safely, as you saw, and it was one hell of a effort. About 45 minutes out at sea, wind blowing. You got to give them credit. Brave, brave people. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a thumbs up. Look for us in the next video.